The next character I'm going to talk about is Wonder Woman, who I think represents obviously the woman, the repressed and oppressed woman, the forgotten woman. And obviously, in these election cycles, the women have been a huge voting target for our recent elections and probably elections throughout history since women have been able to vote. Um, Wonder Woman stands in solidarity in this group of men in the Justice League, but she becomes the leader. So, in many ways, I think what missed opportunity from Justice League is that she was already the leader in many ways. I felt like, they kind of glorified Superman's return like a little way too much. But Wonder Woman ends up being the leader, the person of reason, the most balance-headed person. So kind of hinting as a metaphor that women, how women leaders are across the world in today's politics. They've on records show that women are more hesitant to do things than men. They don't take as much risks in certain countries where, like, let's say Iceland, where gender equality is closest to happening in a country like Iceland, where women actually, just as in that Michael Moore documentary, women ran investment companies that didn't go under, while all the ones run by men went under. And also, this goes to the case that a lot of the female leaders have been far more cautious and hesitant in what they did. So Wonder Woman's representative of that, of a person who is very patient and cautious in how to lead a certain group or an agenda. She also represents in many ways the forgotten soldier, I believe. Because her whole thing is that she went and disappeared after World War I, and she represents a forgotten soldier. Well, I would say more descriptively the forgotten veteran. She also represents veterans, because veterans are, in this society at least, probably in many other societies as well, are forgotten and devalued, and they go into this sort of hibernation and hiding, the way Wonder Woman does for who knows how many years. And then she becomes outspoken back again, the way veterans come back out of being forgotten to become political activists. So her reawakening is kind of the reawakening of a veteran becoming a political activist, I believe. And there's that really great scene where Batman calls her out on, where were you? You disappeared. You have a boyfriend that dies, and that's all it takes to get you to disappear. I thought it was really funny and good scene. Anyway, moving forward, then the Flash is a very clear thing that he represents is the youth and millennial generation. This is kind of like, as many people point out, a direct ripoff of, not a ripoff, but a direct copy of Spider-Man's role in the Civil War movie, which he's like the young kid who's reckless and doesn't know what he's doing. And that's true, yeah. The Flash pretty much is like the Spider-Man of the movie. He he represents youth and the millennial generation. But I do believe, I haven't seen the Spider-Man movie. I know the Spider-Man movie further elaborates, but I do believe in at least in the Justice League movie, it kind of he has more fleshed out moments than Spider-Man did in the Civil War movie. With Spider-Man in the Civil War movie, you get to know almost nothing about him besides that he's quirky, and that's it. You know, that's all you get, is that he's just jumps in there with a suit, boom, he's there, and he makes quirky jokes and whatnot, and he's reckless or whatever. Where I think the Flash's character is a little more interesting, in that he's a little more fleshed out, in that he is antisocial in many ways. He doesn't know how to socialize, which seems to be a big youth and millennial problem. But I also wanted to bring up the point that there's many scenes, in my opinion, that kind of point towards he might have some kind of social disability. Basically, I'm questioning whether the Flash is autistic in this Justice League world. And, because he has some certain autistic traits, it seems, from social anxiety, from, the scene where he says he doesn't understand people, to, that he has a lot of stimuluses. It seems that when he's going around the Batcave, that seemed like an autistic moment where he's stimulating. There's even a part where I feel that Batman is sort of, where he has some kind of, the Flash has an anxiety attack and doesn't know what to do, and kind of like in autism prompting, the Batman prompts him to start with little by little, when he says just save one. I thought that I felt a sort of connection to that scene, in that it seems that he's prompting the same prompting you would prompt for autism. So that's it. That's pretty much the metaphors of all the characters. Aquaman, Cyborg, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Superman, and I even touched upon kind of what the villain's sort of like, a puppet, or not a puppet, but like stepping stone villain to the real big guys up top. And that's it. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it had very good symbolic metaphors for every character. I thought it was very well crafted and clever in that sense. I didn't like other aspects of the movie. I thought in many ways it was poorly edited. In the technical aspect, it wasn't really that neat. It wasn't as well crafted as it could have been. As I thought Batman vs Superman was very well crafted. This one felt a little more sloppier, especially how it changed its whole tone at the end. The CGI wasn't very convincing. The CGI didn't look very good. And I mean, straight from the first scene, you see the CGI, it just looks very cheap somehow. And then when you have CGI looks like that, and it's CGI heaven towards the end, where it's just CGI everywhere, I think it really does the movie an injustice. No pun intended. But yeah, it's a movie I would give I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's got its faults, it's got its sloppiness to it, but overall I think I really like the metaphors in the movie, especially regarding the characters. I think really speaks to our political climate right now, to our world right now. And I think it's true. The environmentalists, the scientists, the vigilantes and the police, the women, the veterans, soldiers, the youth, the millennials, the disabled, and the fallen leaders all have to come together to get over this, specifically this administration or the administrations that be the corporate powers. All of us have to come together to fight them. And I think it's a very good message. So that's it.